Hello everyone, Michael the Librarian of Magic here, finding and cataloging the magical and pointing you to it. What was new and added to Disney Plus for the week of April the 17th, 2020? Well, I'm here to tell you. So sit down, enjoy, grab yourself a beverage or a snack for the next few 15, 20 minutes. I got my notes here, and I'm going to let you know what came out on Disney Plus this week, new and added. Added to Disney Plus um, were the following items. Season 8 of the show Brain Games, the National Geographic show Brain Games, now hosted by Keegan Michael Key, is on Disney Plus. They also added the animated shorts Let's Stick Together, which is a Donald short from 1952, and Pluto's Purchase, a Pluto short from 1948. You know me, I always love when they add these animated shorts. The more the better. Hopefully, we'll get as many as we can, if not all of them, at some point. But it's always great to see new ones whenever they come out. Uh, Seasons 1 and 2 of Chip 'n Dale's Nutty Tales, a Disney Junior show, were also added to Disney Plus this week, as well as Season 16 of The Incredible Dr. Pol, a National Geographic show about a veterinarian. If that's something you're interested in, they have all 16 seasons on Disney Plus now, with the addition of Season 16. As far as new episodes of original content on Disney Plus this week, a new episode of BR Chef called Curiouser and Curiouser was dropped on there. It features two families, the Robbins family and the Perez family, both of whom were featured in previous episodes of this show. As you know, it's a round robin style competition, so they do pop back up. This one has an Alice in Wonderland theme. The teams go into the Magic Kingdom there at Walt Disney World in Florida. They meet Alice and the Mad Hatter and get some inspiration about making some Alice in Wonderland themed treats. Ultimately, the Robbins family decides to go with a chocolate ganache Queen of Hearts tart sort of thing. It's like a heart-shaped chocolate ganache tart with a raspberry and some pepper spice thrown in there to highlight the Queen of Hearts' spicy temper. And the Perez family goes with a matcha green tea cupcake with a raspberry icing, and they present it in a teacup and that sort of thing to make a teacup cupcake. And they're judged once again by Walt Disney World's head chocolatier, the person who helped found the Ganachery restaurant there at Disney Springs. And ultimately, the Robbins family won this episode. The Robbins family previously won the Bibbidi Bobbidi Bon Appetit episode, the Cinderella one, which was the premiere. And now they've won their second episode, the Alice in Wonderland theme. The Perez family, unfortunately, has lost their second episode, despite having a pretty decent effort with their cupcake. They just came a little bit short against the Robbins this time. So we'll see how it goes. The Robbins ended up with a Alice in Wonderland theme pin to add to their Cinderella pin. So they seem to be doing very well in this competition so far. So that's this week's episode of BR Chef. The finale of Shop Class this week, the three teams that made it through the semis are now in the final. And this episode is called Build Your Own Adventure. And the finalist teams are tasked with building your own backyard fort. And this one's really cool. They have to come up with a theme, and they come up with all kinds of different cool stuff to, interact. So the green team comes up with a military fort sort of theme, like a military barracks. It's got like a military coloration. There's a secret hatch door that you can escape from. They come up with all this cool theming on the inside where things are written in codes and stuff are hidden around. Like you have private candy stash that you can access with codes and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool theme. The I want to say there was green, gray, and gold this time. The gray team, I believe, came up with a castle theme. I'm trying to make sure that I'm remembering this right. And there's like a drawbridge that functions with an electronic clapper, and it brings the drawbridge up electronically. There's like a hearth inside and shields and swords on the walls and that kind of thing, which is really neat. And they have all this sort of like brick theming around it, and it looks like a castle on the outside, and they also have a secret hatch that you can escape from, and it was a really cool theme. And then the gold team, or the final team, made a fort that had a bunch of different art on the inside, and then the outside was a climbing wall that you could climb around on, and the roof of it was sort of a see-through, sort of environmentally open skylight kind of thing. And they did a pretty neat job with having the interactivity of the wall and everything like that. Ultimately, the judges liked the green team's military bunker the best because they just really did incorporate the theme of it. It was really they had like almost a whole story that you can interact with and solve all these codes. There was like a treasure hunt. And they just really did kind of go above and beyond with their theming and everything. So they won the whole contest. The prize here, which they had not been telling until the final episode, was an entire creator's suite. They got a full 3D printer, and a draftsman table, a new laptop, a rolling chair, like all of this stuff that you could have your own design studio at home, basically. The other runner-up teams actually got the rolling tool chest, a drafts table, a chair. They got most of the other prizes as well that most of the runner-ups throughout the contest have gotten. So everybody walked away with a whole lot of cool stuff to continue to be makers, and it was really, a neat competition. So that was Shop Class. That was the whole season. It worked out pretty well. It was interesting to watch what these kids would come up with, and it was cool to see them succeed. So Shop Class. Disney Insider, no new episode this week. It appears that they're going to be releasing a new episode of this every other week. Sometimes you never know with these Disney schedules, but that seems to be the case. So if there is a new episode next week, that will prove my theory right. We'll see when we get that far. One Day at Disney Shorts, this time highlighting a person called Steve Sly, who is the manager of Golden Oak Ranch. Golden Oak Ranch is a property that Disney has owned all the way since back in Walt's time. It is a functioning ranch in which they grow agriculture in order to support the property. But also, it's where they film a lot of movies there. Lots of movies have been filmed there. Old Yeller is one famous one. Some of the Pirates of the Caribbean were filmed there, as well as Herbie the Love Bug. They've throughout the years have made a lot of various projects there. The episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff with Marvel, and so on and so on. They've got a full working movie set there. So it was really cool to just see the challenges of this guy, Steve Sly's job, how he has to manage the agricultural side of things, but also when they need to build things for the films and move trees, but also keep, things like that, interrupt the land for the sake of films, but also keep it sustainable and all those kind of things. So it was really interesting to see what they do with that property and just get to see kind of behind the scenes of that property, which is something that not a lot of people probably get to see or have known about. So that was really neat to be able to check into. And then Disney Family Sundays, the craft this week was a Finding Nemo terrarium, which was kind of cool. They built it so that it would house succulents because it's springtime. So you could make your own succulent garden, but you could make it look like almost a Finding Nemo style aquarium. There's an interesting technique there for learning how to make your own colored sand with chalk. So it's pretty cool if you can get your hands on any of these supplies. It's not that difficult to do, and it comes off looking cool. If you need something new to display succulents in, it's kind of a cool approach, and it's a pretty fun family craft that you could get everybody involved in. And they tell you everything you need to do it. So that was Disney Family Sundays this week. And that's basically it. Everything that was added to Disney Plus this week. They did also add Disney Family Sing Along, which was a new project or a new special that they just recently aired on TV. With the world being the way it is, they did a special thing where they got the participation of a bunch of Disney voice actors and Disney stars and stuff like that to get together remotely from each of their own locations, wherever they're at home, and sing the Disney songs from the catalog. And Disney created that as a sing-along for families at home and aired it as a special on TV, and that special is now also on Disney Plus. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but it's a really cool concept, something fun and encouraging to do if you just want to check it out and sing some Disney songs and get just a boost of energy from everybody doing what they can with what they've got, and with some of these people who are singers and actors and everything, they don't have the sort of scientific gifts or things like that a bunch of other heroic people are using right now to help change the world. But they are using what they've got, which is their talents to sing and entertain, and they're doing their best to keep our spirits up. So that's a really cool thing that's on there as well. I'll probably watch that at some point soon, but if that's something you're interested in, it's there. And then also, there was a new episode of the Clone Wars this week, a really good one, I might add. If that's something that you're interested in hearing my take on or hearing more about, I made a whole separate video for that, and there's a whole separate video series for that you can find on my channel. So check that out if that's something you're interested in. Those are all the things that are new and added to Disney Plus this week. I hope this was informative and entertaining. Feel free to give me any comments below if you have any thoughts on this sort of stuff. Thanks as always for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. And take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.